What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls news related video for you guys today, discussing the news across the Chicago Bulls and what it could mean potentially for upcoming games such as the Atlanta Hawks, as well as the future of our season as well. It's a little bit interesting, and again, it's definitely something to keep your eyes on. It looks like, again, this day and age, we are going through a very unique period where so many players are out and in the protocols. There's going to be news left, right, and center about most of the teams in this league, and that's why it's been a very busy news-related week for the Chicago Bulls. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls situation in relation to injury returns, health and safety protocols, and stuff of that nature. First things first, let's get the obvious one out of the way, the one that I ended up talking about last night about Derrick Jones Jr. Again, against the Atlanta Hawks in that last game, he decided to stay in Chicago so he could get some extra work done on his hamstring, and it looks like he could potentially be returning against the Atlanta Hawks. It's in the next game at the United Center. That's been made official. He's officially been put as questionable in that game against the Atlanta Hawks. So pretty much my guess of what I think is going to happen could potentially turn out to be the case, which is great, obviously, and that means we get Derrick Jones Jr. back, another body back to help out with the depth and help out with the bench, and potentially could be starting in some instances as well. Just another body to have, another player to come in to be healthy and ready to play. It's a big thing in my opinion, and I hope he can return against the Atlanta Hawks. But even if he doesn't, he should be back in that next game against the Indiana Pacers, and that's one to keep your eyes on, ladies and gentlemen. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about health and safety protocols once again. And this time it's Ersan Ilyasova that has entered health and safety protocols. This is a hardship exemption player. So it looks like, I don't know the rules about that situation. Again, we saw with Stanley Johnson, we also signed, I believe it was Alfonso McKinney right after that. Stanley Johnson ended up going into protocols. So maybe that means we're not going to have a replacement in terms of Ersan Ilyasova for I guess, call up in terms of the hardship exemption. But at this point in time, there's been no news about a new player coming in, and another player has now entered health and safety protocols. And again, that tally goes up to 3 now, ladies and gentlemen. Lonzo Ball is in health and safety protocols. Ersan Ilyasova is in health and safety protocols, and Tony Bradley is in health and safety protocols. So get well soon to Ersan Ilyasova. Again, he's someone that I'm very surprised hasn't got any minutes in terms of this period of the NBA, just because we are out of a big man at the moment. Our backup big man is Tyler Cook, where we've seen Ersan Ilyasova is a proven big man in this league. I'm very surprised he hasn't been given even a little bit of a chance. But nevertheless, you pick things up and you move on to the next couple of games, and we will be playing those games without Ersan Ilyasova as that hardship exemption player. And another piece of news that I honestly am personally surprised that we're even going to be talking about today, because I definitely did not even notice that the Bulls decided to do this. The Chicago Bulls decided to, I guess, ask or request an extra player from the NBA due to a disabled player exception, which of course is the result of Patrick Williams being out for the majority, if not all of that season for the Chicago Bulls. And it turns out that request actually got denied by the NBA. Now again, I'm really not sure why this was denied, as I think we all know that players, again, so many players that are in and out of health and safety protocols and all of that, that we need as many players in this league as we could get at the moment. So I'm very surprised that the NBA denied this player exception, but also it is a little bit understandable. Again, I'm assuming this disabled player exception is based on being out for the regular season, and I guess the Bulls are quite worried, which is what worrying in itself, that the Bulls are worried that you could potentially not see Patrick Williams this season, and he might come back by the playoff time or even after that. That's a bit worrying in my eyes, that they're going to request a disabled player exception. And obviously it was denied by the NBA, because I think the NBA believes that Patrick Williams could potentially return this season. So that's my, I guess, opinion on the situation. That's my guess, I should say, on that situation. I can't know for sure, and I don't think we're going to know for sure, but that is definitely something that could be seen as a big blow over time. Again, if we had the opportunity to bring in another player that can come in for the season and help this Chicago Bulls team out, and we didn't end up we had that denied, that could potentially be game changing in the future. But nevertheless, this is not something I'm too worried about. Again, we have a lot of depth in terms of this team, and we have had people pick up the slack in Patrick Williams' absence. Of course, he's a young, high potential, high caliber player that we can all expect a great deal from in the future. But at the end of the day, in terms of this season, we are having a great time this season in terms of our record, in terms of our playing style, and in terms of how we're winning these games. And as well, even in some of the games that we've lost, we end up bouncing back very well. So in terms of this piece of news, I know many people will see this as, I can't believe the NBA did this, how could they do this, in that type of situation. But I'm not personally bothered that we didn't get an extra player because of the disabled player exception. The only thing that I'm worried about is that maybe the Bulls believe that Patrick Williams won't be back this season, and hopefully that's something that we're not going to see. That will be a big blow for the Chicago Bulls if we end up not getting that. And I think we're not the only team to get that as well. So I think a couple of teams have actually tried to get a disabled player exception, and I think a couple of teams got denied of that as well. We're just one of them. Something else that I actually do want to talk about before we end things is that the Atlanta Hawks have more players in health and safety protocols, which is a big concern considering we literally just versed them in the last game. Ersan Ilyasova ended up getting the virus. I'm not saying that's the Atlanta Hawks' fault, because of course he didn't play that game, so I'm assuming that there is some sort of traveling or anything like that that allowed Ersan to get it. And at the end of the day, that is a big concern for this team in its entirety, just because the Atlanta Hawks are coming in with more players out. Their team is going to be a little bit more weaker. I think it's Bogdanovic that ended up getting the virus, which is a very good player for them. And it's a big blow for the Atlanta Hawks, but this could also mean that, once again, I'm going to say it again, this game might not be played against the Atlanta Hawks. We just have to wait and see. It could be a game time decision, as it usually is in terms of these postponements. But be on the lookout for that one, ladies and gentlemen. That could definitely be the case. And if that is the case, honestly, I can't blame the NBA for postponing that game. I don't think the game against the Atlanta Hawks in the first time around should have been played, but the NBA played it and we won the game. So I'm very happy about that. But again, it's time to see whether or not they will play this game in the next one against the Atlanta Hawks. I've already come out and said I don't think the game should be played, but we'll wait and see. Obviously, they will have more players that they can sign from the G League, so that will help them. And we'll just have to wait and see how things go. If they have enough players, my guess is they're going to play. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.